Solskjaer has won it!
Welcome to the United Cast. It's Entertainment Talks podcast for Man United and football. I'm your host Matthew, and today we're going to be doing kind of a match review, I suppose it's a match review for Man United versus Chelsea, which took place on the 11th of August 2019. We won 4-0 today. It was a really, really great start to the season. There's still some concerns about the team and about certain players, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So essentially, Rashford scored the first penalty, or the only penalty of the game. Scored the first goal with a penalty in 18 minutes. It was a penalty. I thought that it was a clear foul. Rashford earned the penalty himself anyway, which was great. And then he of course scored the, I believe that was the through ball from Pogba, the second goal, which was kind of interesting as well. Then Martial scored a goal from, I think it was assisted from Pereira, because I did watch the game today. And I'm going to make a lot more effort to watch more matches this season. I don't know how many, and I don't know how many match reviews I'll be able to do, but I'm going to put in, or try and put in more effort to do that, of course. Martial scored a great goal, crossed in from Pereira, who I don't recall him starting too many games for Man United. Andreas Pereira, of course, our Brazilian playmaker, I suppose you can call him. And then Daniel James came on as a substitute for, who came off? You had Lingard, Pereira and Rashford that came off. So one of those guys came off for Daniel James. His dad would be proud, obviously, because if you didn't know, if you weren't aware or anything, Daniel James's dad, his father, passed away. I heard it was a few days before he signed for Man United. So he signs for Man United, this big club. He comes on in his debut and he scores against Chelsea to make it 4-0. Really, really great start for him. And there was this sense that I got from James when, as soon as he got that first ball, the ball straight away, and he started running at the defence, I got this great sense of a player who he wanted to do no matter what it took. He wanted to really score that goal, and he wasn't like mucking about or looking around or doing this or that. Like Rashford kind of was doing in this game. I'll talk about that in a minute, but to stick on some positivity here, I was excited for James to play today, and he didn't start, unfortunately. I would have started him because I would be putting him in that team straight away. And you guys know, if you've listened to the podcast before or whatever, it's only 8 episodes young, I suppose. I just don't think Lingard's a Man United quality player. I'll talk about Lingard and Rashford in a minute, who caused some problems today. But I would be starting James in place of Lingard in any of those three positions, either the right wing, the number 10 slot, or the left wing. I think James can do it. Just get him on the pitch, get him running at some defenders like he did today, and if he ends up passing to somebody else, or if he ends up crossing the ball or something, it will just give us that bit of extra boost, because we haven't really got, other than maybe Sanchez, who's our other quick sort of winger player, and maybe like Rashford and Martial, less so with Rashford, we do need someone who's going to be running at defences, because we've got down at the other end, we've got Wan-Bissaka, who's going to be running back, and he's going to be our basically our speedy player, or a fast player in defence, and we need somebody at the other end of the pitch. That could be Daniel James, to be running at the defence. So, imagine a scenario where like Wan-Bissaka wins the ball, he runs up the pitch, gets some pace going, and then James is there. He passes it through to James or across to James or wherever James is going to be playing. Plays it through to him, and then James continues to run a bit more, maybe gets a few passes off, and then we like play it into somebody either like Martial or Rashford. That's a really good kind of combination that you've got there. And I know that Daniel James didn't get quite so much time in pre-season and stuff like that, but I think he's really, really got some talent. And hey, for his first thing that he does in a full proper Man United match is to score. Like, he got the ball, ran forward, scored. It's a really, really great start for him. And his dad would be proud, of course. So really, really great start for James, and I'm really excited to see more of him. He is our new Welsh wizard. So we got that to look forward to as well. It's one of the most positive things about Man United at the moment. Of course, the other positive thing I noticed today is Harry Maguire. For his first Man United game, and he had to obviously skip pre-season because we signed him after that, every single time Maguire had either headed the ball away, which is obviously one of his strong points, or he'd got the ball, he looked so unbelievably composed. Not just because I'm not surprised in the fact that I didn't question his ability. It's just the fact that this is his first ever Manchester United game. And granted, he's probably been training a bit with the guys and whatnot. But this is his first full Man United game. He wasn't in any of the pre-season matches. And I was just really surprised in a nice way, because it's like, okay, I expected something good from him just because all the buzz around him and the 80 million and all that. I expected a little something, but he was almost better than what I expected, and I already expected a bit from him. But yeah, he just reminded me of kind of the Vidic Ferdinand style, where composed on the ball, experienced, good in the air, all that sort of stuff, and we've really needed that, and he was just great today. So yeah, that's another really good sort of point for Man United. Again, Wan-Bissaka, I already spoke about him. I do think that, because at the moment we've got our right winger problem, where we don't have anybody sort of dedicated in that position, I suppose, at the moment. It was Mata. It's probably not going to be Mata because he's just not got quite the pace. Again, I would either put Pereira or Daniel James there, just because you can then combine James's and Wan-Bissaka's pace and just have that right hand channel be so sort of strong in that way. Yeah, but just building off of De Gea played really, really well in this game. He made some really, really great saves. I know that Chelsea hit the post or hit the woodwork. I think it was the post and the crossbar or something. They hit it like 2 or 3 times in this game. They had their left back, what was his name, Emerson. He broke forward a few times and hit the post and whatnot, which, hey, I mean, if you can't score, then you won't score. So yeah, you could say that Man United got lucky, I suppose, with the post and the crossbar stuff, but hey, they weren't accurate enough to score, and that's what you have to do. You don't get points for hitting the post, I'm afraid. So that's just that. But yeah, De Gea looked really great today. He really made some amazing saves, and again looked his sort of confident peak self, I suppose. Yeah, Lindelof was fine. Shaw was a little bit better than I expected. I really had some worries about Shaw this season, of his fitness. He's injury prone, problems and all that sort of stuff, and I think he did get a knock in this game, but I think he was fine after that. But yeah, really, really great stuff from the defence, and I'm thoroughly impressed with all of them. So specifically, obviously, with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka are our new players, so it's easier to get sort of pay more attention to them, I suppose, because they're doing their new stuff. But yeah, again, just a difference with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's been in, I think, all of the pre-season matches, and this is Maguire's first game, and I was just, I had, not only did he look confident in himself when he had the ball, but whenever he had the ball, I trusted that he wouldn't lose it, and I don't recall him losing the ball in this match. Moving on to the midfield, which is again one of our weak points. McTominay looked fine. Pogba had a very strange match where sometimes he had the ball and he looked like he didn't want to be there, looked like he didn't know what he was doing, and other times, of course, he comes out with the pass through to Rashford and he scores a great goal. So Pogba's giving me some sort of mixed signals at the moment. He's very, very important to our team, and like I said in the previous episode, the deadline day episode, I said, in May or in June and July, I was saying, Pogba's absolutely got to go. He still does need to, but not right now, because if he went, and who would we have to fill that midfield gap? We don't have anybody on the same level. Because I'm not saying Pogba's a bad player, he just doesn't want to be at Man United. And in terms of that, I really just got some mixed signals from him in this game. He did some really great stuff where he got the ball and ran forward and put a few passes together, and there was these other situations where he got the ball, he got all mixed up and stuck and all that, and he sort of had this sulky kind of attitude towards him. So he really just, honestly, for me, he had a 50-50 match. But so it was sort of when he did something really good, it was okay, this is the Paul Pogba that we wanted. And when he did something really bad, it was okay, you don't want to be at the club. So yeah, he's definitely giving me some mixed signals at the moment. But hey, he has to play for us because he's in the team. And yeah, I mean, he assisted one of our goals, so you can't really be at fault with him at the moment. Lingard, like I said, McTominay was fine. I think he just had an average to sort of good game. And again, he's a bit younger, isn't he? So he's trying to sort of get stuck in and impress the manager. So I was fine with Scott McTominay. I wasn't particularly disappointed or particularly impressed. but he was just fine to me. I can't recall too many mistakes that he made, and I can't recall too many like amazing things that he did. So he was very much in the middle to me. Lingard, he had a couple of good like runs in this match where he got the ball, he ran forward, and then got a little bit confused. Almost like what sort of, I don't know if Walcott's still doing this at Everton, because I've not seen Walcott play football for a couple of years. But that's what Walcott used to do for like England. He basically used to run. He could run from the corner flag to the edge of the box and beat every player, but then he wouldn't know what to do. I felt like Lingard had a bit of that today, where he made a couple of good passes, but on other times he just lost the ball, and he kind of got a bit too carried away at certain points. He reminded me a bit of Welbeck, what Welbeck used to do. Like he would get the ball, he would beat a couple of players, just get too overconfident and try to do something fancy. So yeah, not sure what to make of Lingard so far in this game or whatever, or so far in this season. But again, like I said, I would easily put David James in his spot on the right wing. Because yeah, basically we lined up with a 4-2-3-1. We had De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, and then the two defensive midfielders was McTominay and Pogba. The front four, I suppose, from right to left, you've got Lingard, Pereira in the number 10 slot, and then you've got Rashford on the left, and then Martial up front, which is where Martial really should be this season. And of course he got his goal as well today. So yeah, that was great. But like I said, I would definitely swap, because I think that team looks great. Pogba's unsettled or whatever, McTominay's fine. So you got the two weak-ish defensive midfielders. But I think Pereira looked fine in this game. I think Rashford had a couple of problems in the match. Like he was doing some Welbeck style flicks as well. It's almost like Rashford and Lingard have been hanging out and they've been getting football tips off of each other. In a way, which I know they are kind of friendly or whatever. I mean, they're all probably mates in some way, but I've seen more of Lingard and Rashford like together in certain bits and pieces, like certain Man United coverage and stuff. So like when they had the treble reunion match, and after the match they cut over to Rashford and Lingard, and they were sort of standing there together. So they seem to be a bit more mates than whatever. So again, I'd swap Lingard out for Daniel James and kind of push him on, because if you're telling me that Lingard's ready and as a Man United player, I definitely think that Daniel James is, and he came in and he proved himself today. He came on, he scored a goal, he played really well. He didn't get that much time, but he came on and scored. So what else can Daniel James really do to prove himself? Yeah, Pereira is the next player I want to talk about. I'm just basically going through the team and giving my rough thoughts on everybody. Pereira, I think he needs more time. I think he needs more Man United games, and he's not been played that much in the past, and he needs to kind of be able to get out there and prove himself. So I think he did a good job today, though, with what I remembered him doing anyway. So I don't remember him doing anything particularly good or particularly bad, but he was fine. He was kind of on the same level as like McTominay for me today. Rashford, of course, scored the 2 goals, earned himself a penalty, put it away, and he, of course, scored the through ball pass from Pogba, which he put away really well. Yeah, again, I just think Rashford and Lingard are sort of, I don't know, they've got some poor similarities, but I do think that Rashford's a step ahead, or a couple of steps ahead of Lingard. And like I said in the previous episode when I talked about the team's lineup and stuff, I would be putting Rashford on the bench and bringing him on for Martial in certain games. Although I do think that having the two of them together on the pitch has seemed to work a bit more today than what I anticipated, so that's good as well. Martial, I thought Martial had a brilliant game. I did notice in certain bits and pieces of the match he just didn't have how can I say this? He didn't have anybody really around him. The same problem as like what Wan-Bissaka had. Wan-Bissaka was like coming through on the right hand side, and there was nobody like next to him or in front of him. Again, that's where Daniel James could be. Martial just seemed to have, because it's showing here that Lingard was on the right, but I remember reading the team information before the match, and Lingard was actually in the number 10 slot, which means that Lingard should be supporting Martial. I mean, that's kind of the job of those three players, on the left, the number 10, and on the right, is to really support that striker, support Martial, and they did a good job with it. But I felt like Mostly he was doing link-up play with Rashford, which was good. But other than, I mean, Pereira delivered the ball into him, so he scored, so that kind of proves my point a little bit more, I suppose. Yeah, he had a great game today, so he's probably one of our better players, and I can't wait to see him sort of flourish as our new number 9 and see how he does. And he's already started scoring, so that's great as well. Alright, let's take a break here. Today's sponsor is Kualu. If you'd like to get started with a domain name and a website today, just click on the link in the show notes and that will take you over to Kualu to get started. They also have a live support chat system that you can use, which is in the bottom right hand corner. So get started with a new website and domain name today with Kualu. Hey everybody, if you would like to get the ad-free versions of all of our podcasts and support Entertainment Talk along the way, all you need to do is head over to patreon.com/entertainment talk. Sign up either as a creator or as a Patreon. There's no difference there. That's just the option for either becoming a creator now or just staying as a patron for the moment. And then all you need to do is support us at the $1 level tier. That will get you access to all of the ad-free podcasts that we've done in the past, and get you access to all the ad-free podcasts in that month as well. So it's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. As always, thank you very much for listening. Back to the show. Alright, so recently on Entertainment Talk, the first episode for Let's Play Sundays has gone out, and it's a new Let's Play series for us, but it's basically my way of taking the Let's Plays that we already do and putting them under a theme and a date, basically, or a day. Rather, on that day is Sunday. The first episode was for Apex Constructs, so go and check that out as well, and that's a PlayStation VR game, so go and take a look at that. Yesterday I went and ranked all of the Spider-Man films, which includes Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We've of course reviewed Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and Into the Spider-Verse, and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame a couple of times. So yeah, I took the 8 different films that were out there, including so that's Tobey Maguire's films, Andrew Garfield's films, the Spider-Verse film, and the 2 Tom Holland films. So I went and ranked those. Melissa Joan Hart came out with Netflix came out with part 2 of Melissa Joan Hart's comedy dramedy sort of series called No Good Nick. It's on Netflix if you want to go and watch it. There's 2 parts, and yes, it's 2 parts, which I think make up season 1, and they're 10 episodes each, so 20 episodes, but they're sort of split into half seasons, which Netflix doesn't usually tend to do, but I think with that and Sabrina they've tended to do it a bit more. So yeah, my reviews for both part 1 and part 2 are out there, and they're both spoiler free and spoiler split basically, so you can go and check that out. The United Cast, like I said, I talked about transfer deadline day and all of the, well, drama, I suppose you could say, the drama of nothing happening. I suppose the Lukaku thing was the only thing that happened, but I sort of summed up the transfer deadline, or the transfer window, and talked about who I would put out for the Manchester United lineup, which I've talked about a little bit in this episode, but that's out there as well. What else have we done? iZombie finished its 5th and final season, so it's all finished now, and me and Robert came back and reviewed the individual episodes, season 5 episode 13, All's Well That Ends Well, the series finale, and we'll be back this Wednesday to do a series wrap up, so where we will give our thoughts on the entirety of the series and the show itself. So yeah, there's that, and iZombie will be wrapping up this Wednesday. Random Gaming Talk is of course mine and Robert's other podcast that we do. We talked about Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled and the microtransactions. We talked about Ninja being signed by Mixer, and if that sounds familiar, it kind of is in a football sense. We talked about some more stuff. Merchandise information. I'm thinking about doing some merchandise for Entertainment Talk. I've got a couple of ideas. If you want to know more, go and check out the merchandise information podcast. I still need a level of interest from everybody, and then we can decide, or I can decide what to do from there with the merchandise, so have a look out for that. I started doing some scripted reviews, and the first one is for Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, the game that I just talked about. There's 2 other reviews that I've recorded, and they're going to be coming out within the next couple of weeks or within the next week or so look out for that. American Horror Story is coming back on FX and Fox in the UK. So for FX in the US and Fox in the UK. For season 9 it's going to be the 1984 slasher themed TV series, and we'll see if Ryan Murphy can pull off a story that makes sense. That's on iTunes and Spotify and podcast services as well. But if you want to find it on the website, you can of course go to the I think I've got it in the off-air TV section at the moment because it's not actually back yet. And there's of course the podcast drop down menu. That's where you'll find all of our iTunes feeds. Other Let's Plays, Apex Construct did a Let's Play for that, and there were some other ones as well. But that's what we've been doing roughly on Entertainment Talk and on podcast platforms. So yeah, let's wrap up my thoughts for today. Actually, what I want to do is look at the league table, which I know isn't quite reflective of how the season's going to end, because let's bring it up here. Man City are at the top, of course, because they slaughtered West Ham 5-0. I managed to watch a good amount of that game. And not to talk too much about our opposition rivals here, but I noticed something very particular about Man City, and I'm interested if Man United can do it. When Man City are passing the ball around, they've got this particular way where everybody's sort of in their positions. They're like literally in position. They sort of do a couple of really slow passes, like in the final third or in the opposition's half. And then all of a sudden, one of their players, it's never a specific player, it's always a different player or whatever. They'll start passing the ball really quickly and do like this ping pong sort of passing, or this sort of, what's that arcade game called? Like that I can't remember, like ping pong sort of type passing. And then that's usually when they tend to score. I noticed they did it on at least 3 of their goals yesterday. They'll sort of slowly pass the ball around a bit, and then one player will pass it really fast to the next player, and then they'll do this sequence where everybody sort of already knows, before they've even got the ball, who they're going to pass to next. And it's almost like, I mean, it might literally be a tactic where, you know, they all sort of know their positions and everything, and they're able to basically, just pass in like a scripted sequence almost. So they like Sterling's going to pass to Aguero or whatever, and then he's going to pass to Silva, and then he's going to pass to Mane, and then he's going to cross it into Aguero or whatever. And they seem to have really kind of got that down, so to speak. That's just something I kind of noticed from the Man City game yesterday. But they're top of the league, of course, because they won 5-0. Again, it's an early stage where it's goal difference that's going to be separating people or teams. And then Man United, we are finally second in the league again. Of course, only one match has been played, but that's because we won 4-0 today. And of course, we played very, very well today. So very, very happy with the result. It really couldn't have gone much better than what it did. So there's really, apart from a few issues I had with Lingard and some other players, and Rashford doing some weird bits and pieces and some stuff with Pogba, I really don't think there's much to complain about with this match. And then you've got Liverpool. Of course, I think they beat Norwich 3, no, it was 4-1. Their goal difference says 3, but it was 4-1. So yeah, that's kind of the top 3 and everything. I won't go reading the whole table, but the bottom 3, you've got West Ham because they lost 5-0, Chelsea because they lost 4-0, and Watford because they lost 4-1, but they got -3 goal difference. And everybody else is pretty much just level in the middle, either with draws or wins of some kind. Because Tottenham won. What was Tottenham's result? It doesn't matter. But they won as well yesterday, of course, beating Aston Villa. So yeah, that's your first look at the Premier League table after week 1 of the matches. Because there's no Monday Night Football tomorrow, I don't think. I think everybody has played. Let me quickly double check that. Played. Yeah, everybody's got a 1 next to their name. Our next match is against Watford. I think it's next Monday. It's a Monday 8 o'clock. Monday Night Football match, so that's going to be interesting. Don't they usually have Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher for those commentators? So that'll be interesting to see what Gary Neville thinks of Man United so far. So yeah, very, very good start to the season. I'm very, very happy with the win. And honestly, like I said, apart from a few problems I got with Lingard and a few problems I got with Rashford, we really couldn't, and some mixed signals from Pogba, we really couldn't have asked for more. Yes, Chelsea hit the post and the crossbar a few times, but other than that, we had a brilliant game. So the defense looks really, really solid, like I said. The attack's got some issues, and the midfield's got a couple of weird issues, but other than that, we look great. So, and this is a really positive thing to take from the first game of Man United. Again, I don't know if I'll be able to kind of go this in depth or whatever, or this for this long for 38 matches of the season, but I'll try to do as many matches as I have time to or I'm able to do. So again, because they're all on like either Mondays or Saturdays or Sundays, or they're all at different times, because with the TV shows that we usually cover or whatever, or the Gaming Talk podcast and stuff that we have, it's always on the same day pretty much, because Walking Dead's on Monday or whatever, Good Place on Friday or whatever. The Man United matches can be, because they're going to be Thursday nights as well, because we're going to have Europa League games. They're going to be Saturdays, maybe Fridays, because Liverpool had a Friday match. So it might be a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday, lots of different times. So it's just going to depend on the schedule and things like that. So we'll see. But yeah, I definitely needed to kind of do this today, with us playing Chelsea. It's a big game. We played really well and we won. So I definitely needed to talk about it as well. So, yeah, what did you think of today's performance from Manchester United? Is there any players that you were particularly impressed with? Any players that you weren't particularly impressed with? And is there any other bits and pieces that you've noticed from Man United today? But it's a great start. And unless we won 6-0, there was no other way we were really going to go top of the league, because it's just not possible in week 1. So there's that. But yeah, lots of positives to take away from today. And yeah, very, very happy with the result. So yeah, let me know what you think. Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK. There's a contact page and information in your show notes. If you want to check out the rest of the content we got, because we don't just cover football here, we cover TV, video games and films as well, which I count football under TV, but TV shows, video games and films and stuff. So check out the rest of the content we've got on entertainmenttalk.org. If you want to support the podcast, Sport Entertainment Talk, we're on Patreon. We'll also have an Amazon affiliate link, and we have iTunes feeds as well. Of course, please rate, review and subscribe to those. If you don't want to review the feed, you can simply rate it, tap on the star rating, that will help us as well. Social media is obviously a big thing. Facebook and Twitter, please share them on Facebook, retweet them on Twitter, and if you're allowed to, put them in different Facebook groups. And lastly, video games. Speaking of Let's Play Sundays, Sundays 7pm UK time, 11am Pacific time, 2pm Eastern time. If you want to check that out, the first episode has gone out for Apex Constructs, so go and check that out and let me know what you think. But me and David stream on Twitch, Robert streams on Mixer. Thanks for listening, and yeah, great match, really great match today. I'm very, very happy. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.